$100,000 out of that and paid for I think over 750,000 meals for Broward County to just keep taking one more stress off the table.
You never know, because I'm a part of a foundation and we're a community partner with some of the partners of the NSTs.
Oh, great.
So our foundation actually submits lists for the elderlies from different congregations.
So
and we get even
talk it up.
So it's not just, you guys know I'm not political, right? But I love people. So what we get, the list that we submit, is not just in your district.
Right.
There are people that are from Sunrise, they're from Lauderhill, like different.
And it's all connected.
Everybody gets their package.
And that was what was key for me when we went through this. I said, look, we're going to dedicate these 750,000 meals to Broward County.
Yeah.
So I don't care if it's not a city that's contracted
because they're not in your district.
Doesn't
and at
matter.
first I was worried.
Matter.
I was just like, okay, because we've gone to different places to get assistance for these people, because a lot of people come through our foundation that needs help, that needs food. I personally go in my cupboard sometimes and pack stuff from there, go to the store and bring them packages, and then Kobe King, he reached out to me and he's like, hey, I know that, being a community partner and you being on the ground, you might
and that's the
know
thing.
people.
So let me give just a shout out for anyone who's listening on this, right? If you realize that there's a church, there's a civic group that is trying to distribute food out to the community, and you need help with gathering food, make sure you reach out to our neighborhood support team, to Captain Renee Peterson, because she's continuing to take these catalogs and saying, okay, today we got to drop off 500 meals in Hollandale.
Right.
Tomorrow we got to take 1,500 up to Pompano, whatever it may be. But that type of engagement is important, and to have that communication going on back and forth.
What I must say is that there are a lot of times people, and my listeners will tell you, because I'm very open and transparent. And even earlier this week, we found out that the families that they qualify for free and or reduced lunches at school, their children qualify, that they got EBT cards in the mail to help them with purchasing food while they're at home. And I gave props to, I'm still not sure who approved that, but I appreciate that for the people, because we see a lot of hungry people. And one of the things that I must say about your office, and not just you, but you lead by example, is that you're very relatable. In what I mean is that you're not afraid to approach the person because of the position that they're in, and that's good. You see them as a human being. You respect the office, but you could walk up and say, "Hey, Sheriff, I got this," because I've seen you on multiple occasions.
Look, so you can't forget where you come from, and you most certainly can't place yourself in a visual or a psychological a point where you think you're better than people here. It is totally the complete opposite. Like, you're supposed to be accessible. You're supposed to be serving everyone. One of the unique things that has come to me out of this position is I have the ability to talk to, communicate with, and relate to people who come from the most impoverished parts of our community, and have a conversation with them and understand exactly what they're doing. But I can also walk into some of the most wealthiest people home in this country and still relate and have a conversation with them. And what I have been trying to do, and we are having success with it, is to bridge that gap. Because it's very difficult for my friends and colleagues who are wealthy to understand what it is to suffer, right? And how important it is to be able to just have a few meals.
Right.
And if those communications never happen, then the people who are of the utmost levels of wealth will continue to drift and distance themselves, even if it's not intentional. They just don't understand it.
Right.
And so I've become like this ambassador for both sides and say, hey, you have a surplus here. You can help change someone's life for an entire year.
Right.
And we're seeing that happen, like the evolution of it. And you talk about, the engagement. Look, I'm the youngest sheriff in the state right now, and I'm still chasing people. And I saved this guy's life who had a heart attack in the car. But I'm out there.
Right,
I'm doing these home deliveries with Captain Renee Peterson and our neighborhood support team. I'm out there, and what really hit me, and I said I got to pull more money out of this trust fund, was we went to this retirement home community, and we were like knocking on these mobile homes. Thank you. Knocking on these mobile homes, and this little old lady comes up to the door. She's probably about 80 years old, very fragile, small. And I got my mask on. I'm social distancing. I don't want to get her sick. And I got bags of food. And she's like, "Oh, Sheriff, and thank you for coming. I was down on my last jar of peanut butter."
Oh.
Yeah, right. We're gonna cry today. I just pulled a couple tears out my own eye because I could see her.
Wow.
And I said, "Man, I just left somebody who's got hundreds of millions of dollars. They have no clue this is going on. And then I go to another house and I'm carrying food up, and this lady is down to her last jar of peanut butter.
Wow.
Can't have that." And that's why I pulled the money out and I said, everyone's getting some meals. So
I'm going to sneak in Boss Lady's question and see how much more I can get in there before you go. She wants to know, what about the black on black crime in Broward?
Yeah, look, we're still having, let me get some clarity on that, because I heard this comment. There's like, crime is on the increase. So the crime is actually decreasing. But we had some spikes in violent crime over the last several weeks. I think we're seeing that a lot of these restrictions are forcing like some of our young folks to go out in the community and do like these car rallies, and they're doing these mega house parties. And what's happening is conflicts is developing here. People are getting drunk, people are acting immature, and we had about a half a dozen shootings that's occurred. And we put our street crime people out there to make sure we reduce it. But that's just a momentary response protocol that we have to put in place to stop that threat right now. But when we start talking about the social issues between black on black crime, as she's referencing, one of the key things we have to do is interject funds into programs that help get these young people off the street and get them in a positive setting, right? So the nexus there is, and I say this all the time, our white brothers and sisters out there typically will have a little bit more disposable income than our black and brown folks. Therefore, their kids are never on the street. They're always in camps, they're in educational programs, they're in music courses, they're doing all these different things. Whereas our kids typically are trying to be, what can I do to blend in? What can I do to gain popularity in the community? Let me go kick it and hang it with the boys. And then these type of crimes take place. So, there's a cry right now for let's defund police.
Yes, I was going to ask about that.
Oh, bring it. Right?
So we got 20 seconds before the break. I don't know if you have time after.
I'll stick around.
Okay.
We'll carry into that after the break. We'll talk about defunding police and what method we can use to be more responsible in the community.
Look at the sheriff trying to take my job. I was supposed to segue you guys to the break, but he already did that. So get your questions ready. We're going to try to answer as much as we can after the break.